So there is this traveler, a kind of pilgrim who's been on a long, long pilgrimage looking for a special place. And he stops a local. He feels like he's close to this place, and he stops a local and says, "How do I get here? How do I get to this place?" And he described it. The local looked at him and said, "Well, I know of this place that you speak of, but here's the thing: if I were you, I would not start out from here." Well, it's a funny kind of little teaching story, but that's exactly the point that we want to talk about today. And there's a little piece that I want to bring today that I wrote not too long ago. But it really speaks to this idea that when the social, political, and ecological challenges, particularly the ecological challenges we're facing, are so great that perhaps we ought to not just look for more solutions, but that we ought to actually look at the way, the beliefs, the origin stories, where we're starting from. What is the perspective and the stories we're telling ourselves? Maybe that is part of the problem. And so this little piece is called Start Small, Go Slow. And it really is contemplating the idea that maybe we need to stop for a minute, go a little slower, and see if there might be some insight, even wisdom perhaps, that comes to us if we can just reorient ourselves. I've got three brief little quotes that are at the top of this piece. And one is by E.F. Schumacher, which is the title of a book he wrote called Small is Beautiful. Small is Beautiful. The second is by a mentor of mine and a friend for many years. I studied Aikido with George Leonard. And George, when he was talking about this notion of really looking at what is the attitudinal stance, the belief stance, the stories we're telling ourselves. And in this context, it was largely about Aikido, but George would say, kind of funny, he'd say, start slow, then taper off. Start slow, then taper off was his way of saying maybe we need to just really evaluate where we're starting from. And then the final one is by a philosopher, amazing person, Bayo Akomolafe. And his quote is, "The times are so urgent, let's slow down." And that these are really the part of the inspiration for this piece. Start small, go slow. It goes like this. We've tried big and fast. We have tried big and fast. Maybe a little too much. Now the rain trembles with nanoplastics, forever chemicals, wild animals retreating everywhere, insects, bees, bears. Maybe we've been too successful, more clever than wise, more clever than wise. The poem goes on. Perhaps it's time to start small, go slow. Sing, dance, play music into the late night. Try adding an ing to every word. Try adding an ing to every word. After all, what in this world is not a verb? After all, what in this world is not a verb? Doesn't everything at last curve and wiggle? Isn't every noun really a happening? For to fix a thing is to kill it with abstraction. Activate your deepest agency. Activate your deepest agency. Humble. Be humble but willing. Start close in. Start close in your next footstep. Travel light. Be awareness, attention, a universe banging. Now, breathe in awe. Breathe out gratitude. Now, breathe in awe. breathe out gratitude. Meditate all these strange, beautiful connections. Meditate on all these strange, beautiful connections. Give up certainty. Give up certainty. Let your heart feel what is real. Say to friends, I am because we are. I am because we are. Say to friends, I am because we are. Laugh, cry, love. Laugh, cry, love. Now, try scaling that. Now, breathe in awe and breathe out gratitude. Meditate on all these strange, beautiful connections. Give up certainty. Let your heart feel what's real. Say to friends, I am because we are. Laugh, cry, love. Now, try scaling that. Sometimes the very way we are trying to solve a problem can in itself be an integral part of the problem, a huge part of the problem itself. There's an old expression, that says insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's a little bit of this theme today. Start small, go slow. And it's amazing sometimes the kind of wisdom, if we can get humble enough, if we can get quiet enough, if we can actually start really close, start with our own breath, start with a little silence. It is amazing how in that kind of stumbling way, that kind of uncertain way, that kind of way that feels so dangerous sometimes, can actually be so fertile as well. Thank you so much for listening. As I always say, until next time and next poems, take good care of yourself. And if you can, someone else.